And we've seen guys come in the shop with Evolution motors. This guy had a Road King, and he just needed a tire changed. But I looked on his odometer and he had over 250,000 miles on his bike. And he's owned it since, I think, 60,000. And he has taken immaculate care of this, and that he's done all of his own oil changes and all of his own maintenance, other than tires. He brought it for tires, but Harleys will last you as long as you want, as long as you just take care of them and do proper maintenance, keep the oil changed. Don't ride them like they're a speed bike, because they're not. They're cruisers. And there is certain motors that have their own problems. Like when the twin cam came out, it was an 88 twin cam, and those had problems with plastic tensioners, the spring plastic tensioners in them. And they also had problems with the crank run out, because they switched from doing the cranks by hand to robots doing the cranks, and the run out tolerance was a lot higher for the 88 twin cam. And they still are pretty high today, but they're not as much as the 88, I'm pretty sure. So 88s are still good. They're good motors as long as you take care of them and check your tensioners. And if the tensioners, if you notice they are going bad, you replace them. And if you're looking at a high mileage Harley, and it is an 88 twin cam, which is years 99 to the first half of 06, I think. Later 99 to the first half of 06. Just ask the previous owner if they have any knowledge of the tensioners being replaced, and what the maintenance was like, if they did the maintenance, proper maintenance for them. If they did, then you're probably fine with it. I mean, they'll last you. And then the 96 twin cam came out, and they fixed that tensioner issue somewhat. They went to a hydraulic tensioner instead of the spring, and those have less problems. And I think the 96 cubic inch twin cam, just in my opinion, is the best twin cam motor to get. And all it is how you take care of them. And it really, if you keep the fluids changed in these bikes and you don't ride them like they're a speed bike, like I said, you can ride them well over 100,000 miles, no problem. Another thing I want to touch on too is the amount of parts that are out there for Harley Davidson motorcycles. It's insane how many parts and how many manufacturers there are for Harleys. And there's a ton of twin cam parts. There's a ton of Evolution parts, but you got to search a little harder for those. Facebook Marketplace, swap meets, all that kind of stuff. You'll find stuff. But the parts are abundant for them, and the rebuildability of these motors is pretty good. That's why people keep them on the road for as long as they can, especially the Evolution. Those are the most simple motors that are out there for Harley, and they're the most reliable. They're not super fast. You can make them go fast, but stock, they're not super fast. They're meant to be reliable. Harley came out with them to compete with the Japanese market at the time, and that was back when Willie G and a bunch of other executives bought Harley back from AMF, and they really had to make a statement on what they were going to do with the reliability issue of the shovel head. And that's why they came out with the Evolution motor. And it is still one of the most reliable Harley motors out there. I would say on the point of what is too high of miles for a Harley Davidson motorcycle, I would say that there is none. I would say that there's a point where you need to start checking things, and you need to start maybe doing preventative maintenance. But I wouldn't say anything is too high miles to buy on a Harley, as long as it starts up and it runs good and there's no funky noises or smoke blowing out the back or whatever else you might find when trying to buy one. But if you're in the market for a Harley Davidson and you're looking at one with over 50, 60,000 miles, as long as you can hear it and you have the previous paperwork of what the previous owner did, I wouldn't be scared of it at all, especially if you get a deal on it. Because even if something happens after you buy that motorcycle to where you need a whole new motor, you can buy these Evolution motors with fairly low miles for $1,500 on Marketplace to $2,000. I see them all the time. And even the twin cams, 88s, you could buy those all day long. But 96s and 103s, they're harder to come by and they're going to be more expensive. But a couple grand, it'll get you back riding again. And the motors aren't that hard to swap on those either. So if your question is, what is too high? I would say nothing, as long as you can iron out the details with the previous owner of what maintenance has been done to it. So there also is a guy. I had to look up his name because I forgot what it was, but I heard about him all the time. Dave Zine, I'm pretty sure that's it. He had 1 million miles on his 1991 FXRT. I mean, 1 million miles, and he put those on that bike, the Evolution motor. And he had some work done to it, of course, but that's a lot of miles on a motorcycle. Like, I can't even imagine that, because people only ride around here maybe 1,500 miles a year. This guy is insane. And that just goes to show you what a Harley can do with proper maintenance and the rebuildability of a Harley motor. Like, they're incredible machines. And yes, they do have their problems, but you just got to know what to look for. And once you know what to look for, you shouldn't have a problem buying one with higher miles. I know I wouldn't be scared of one as long as I got to check it out and I knew the history of it. I wouldn't be scared to buy one with 100,000 miles. I would think it's cool. But anyway, if anyone has any questions, let me know. I respond to comments sometimes, so peace.